So the key is to do something almost every day, ideally every day. And it can be as simple as standing up when you've been sitting down watching the TV. Morning, everyone. As you can see, I'm up on one of the ridges in Bega Valley again this morning, and it's starting to look really dry. We're just entering a drought and a bit of a scary time for anyone living in the valley who can remember the fires from 2018 and 2020. So fingers crossed we'll avoid them this time round. I just want to follow up on a couple of things I said in my first video. I really want to make a big generalisation here. The generalisations can hide the truth, but also they can be useful. I actually think there's three major categories of people's health in late 60s, early 70s. The ones who are thriving, who have got good routines, have been active and don't have any significant health issues. Most of what I'm talking about probably is not much use to you guys unless you have an injury or suddenly get sick. So I'm really focusing on the second and third categories. People like myself who have been active and then had periods where they haven't been as active and really want to maximise their health and well-being for the last period of their life, however long that might be, one more day or as long as we get. And then the third category is people who aren't well, aren't healthy, but who want to start doing something that is useful to them. And the third category is the hardest because the biggest problem is you haven't got the good habits in place that you can easily build on. But there's a Japanese concept which is a really useful one, and they talk about it and they call it continuous improvement or Kaizen. I'll add a link to a wonderful book about how people can apply this concept to their own lives and the description below this video. But from my point of view, it's core of what I've been trying to do when I've been teaching about using Agile in workplaces, both in IT and organisational change. But also I try and apply it to myself, badly often, but it's the idea that you take very small incremental steps that slowly improve your health and well-being. And it's the fundamental principle behind progressive training, where you slowly and steadily increase either the frequency, duration, or the weights, or whatever training method you're using. So the key is to do something almost every day, ideally every day. And it can be as simple as standing up when you've been sitting down watching the TV. Stand up for 2 minutes. Do that every day. And then in next week, add another 30 seconds. Whatever your body can cope with. But don't just stop. You've got to start doing something. And I'll do a lot more on continuous improvement because that's the fundamental challenge I'm facing. I don't know when I'll have to go to a pause stage. So I'll come back and talk more about continuous improvement in a follow-up video. Okay, guys, enjoy your day. I've got my walk down, which is much easier than my walk up. So I'm looking forward to that. Talk to you later. Bye. Channel. Like everyone starting on YouTube, it would be great if you could share a link to this video. I'll be releasing short videos explaining more about how I'm attempting to live well as part of my walks in the Bega Valley.